Trading Wednesday, November 19th. We do have CPI that had just came out. Also, this is crazy, by the way. I didn't see this last night, I'm pretty sure. I think this is new. But, anyways, GBP CPI just came out. Let's see how that looks. Bearish. Wait, what was the numbers? Numbers were bullish. Right, that does mean bullish for it, right? Yeah, it's good for the currency, yeah. Interesting. Holy moly. I just got done eating, so I got the hiccups. I was just scarfing it down. But, okay. Let's see what we can do. Weekly is obviously having a nice reaction off the weekly for value gap. Previous day retested this inverse for value gap and then closed higher, so I think we are looking for a continuation higher to take out these relative equal lows I have marked out. So this is our draw on liquidity. Daily, we do have this new day opening gap. We are inside of this new week opening gap right now, which looks like we're respecting it because price had just came from outside of it. Oops. So I'm going to delete that because I don't want too much. 4 hour. Not really much on the 4 hour, to be honest with you. Besides, obviously, like this old 4 hour that ended up getting inversed, right? But I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. We do have this redelivered rebalance. Looks like that had just gotten barely missed. I wish it would have retested that. Not a big deal though. We did just have a previous day high sweep right here, and Euro had its previous day's low kept intact, and then GBP had taken its previous day's low, so that's a little worrying. I do believe that we are bullish though. We are definitely bullish, but do we want to... The SMT is a little annoying, but in my mind, right, the SMT is already completed because we have this higher high, right? So I'm looking at this as external range liquidity, right, being taken, and then price had just taken internal range liquidity. And then the same thing for the euro, right? This was the SMT, so liquidity not taken necessarily, right? But at the same time, this is liquidity to get taken. This is relatively equal lows, so we're looking at that as drawn liquidity as well. Not to mention we have these other lows farther away that can be used as relatively equal lows on a higher scale. I think this is the same, yeah, November 10th. This is the same day as the drawn liquidity for dollar. So, yeah, I'm thinking this is looking good. So direction bullish dollar. Stage is we are coming off of this new day opening gap. That's mainly our stage, to be honest with you. Like that's pretty much it. Not to mention external range liquidity being taken, or sorry, rather internal range liquidity being taken, and now we're targeting external, but that's not really a stage, right? As according to my rules. Man, I really wish that got tapped. Did it at least make a equal low with it? 519, 519. Okay, so it did tap it like exactly, but it just didn't break into it. I wonder if Euro has a similar situation. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, no, doesn't look like it. New day opening gap on Euro as well, not to mention this new day opening gap that we've tapped into. And then anything else? I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. I'll just mark this out. End dog. What's weird is on the daily, right? This new day opening gap, right? From this close to this open. But then when you look at it on the 1 hour, it's like, okay, where did this actually happen? Like it isn't. Then you see this, and this is market close, right? So I feel like this is true new day opening gap from this close to this open, but it's like we already tapped that as well. So either way, our stage is new day opening gap basically. And then we also have a little cherry on top that's not really a part of my system, but I do acknowledge it. Internal range liquidity being taken. Internal range liquidity being taken. I wonder if GBP did. Yeah, wait. Not necessarily. Yeah. Still, it's good enough for me. Scenario is opposing range for Asia. So we do have, and same thing on the euro, we do have this opposing 1 hour for value gap. That looks like price is already wanting to push through it. I don't like when it does it this early though. Is this also like a new day opening gap or something? Yeah, it is. So I guess we also have this new day opening gap that can offer us some resistance. So, yeah, just gonna wait for my entry. Waiting for. I want to see how this looks real quick. Alright, so it's a little bit bigger on the euro. That's fine, honestly. Alright, waiting for this 1 hour candle to, or with this 1 hour for value gap to get closed through, and then I'll be entering on the retest of it. Looking like this. Bang. And then I would like to hold to these lows, but I'll be looking to take profit around these lows, which would end up giving me on 2 contracts. That would give me 312, so just over 0.5%. And I would also be risking 0.25%. And this would give me just under 1%. So that's the plan. Alright, I've made an executive decision. I am entering on a longer term trade. Let me log in real quick. Bada bing, bada boom. Mr. Worldwide when I step in the room. I am entering like a this. Bang. Bang. It's like a larger time frame OTE is how I'm looking at it. Market sell
Order filled.
to limit. Oh wait, no, buy stop 2 and then buy limit 2. Wait, let's see, where's my entry? 100. Bang. So yeah. Um, like I said, going for like a longer term OTE. If we look at the 4 hour, okay, the 4 hour doesn't look as good, but this is the last trade of the year. All right, so I'm honestly just having fun with it. I'm honestly just having fun with it. Okay, 1 hour looks better. High to low, OTE, bang. Simple, simple, simple. Realistically though, like off of my actual strategy, since this is since the fair value gap is this low, right? And my entry would be that low, and then entry like that. Like that's a pretty big entry for what we're targeting, right? Um, so what I would normally, if I wasn't just being a silly little goose right now with this longer term entry, I'd be looking for my usual entries, like my usual 30-minute engulfing, which honestly is probably just about as bad as that 1 hour, right? 1 hour fair value gap inverse entry, right? So then I'd be looking for a 5-minute CISOD and then enter off that, preferably with some sort of SMT divergence, or a 15-minute CISOD entering off that, right? So, yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. So I'll still be waiting for that. I'm thinking we'll see how this 15-minute candle closes, but I'm thinking the preferred entry here would probably end up being the 15-minute inverse fair value gap entry, or obviously the 5-minute. So I'll be watching those. All right, price is melting right now for some reason. I moved my stop loss down a bit. I do not know why it like just completely turned around. I guess I'll check news. Yeah, nothing. Like what? Hold on, let me check X, Twitter. There's got to be some sort of news that just came out, because this is kind of insane. This is a brand new 5-minute candle, so either this 5-minute candle is going to close with a giant wick to the downside, it's going to have a giant wick to the downside close to the upside, or it's going to close like below these lows. Asking ChatGPT if any news has dropped over the last 20 minutes. No fresh headline within the last 20 minutes. So yeah, no real news. I guess this is just price action. I don't know. We are about halfway through the candle. Looks like it is starting to reject. Also, one thing I was looking at was the 4-hour candle on this. Wait. Yeah, the 4-hour candle off of the dollar looked kind of bearish after sweeping previous day's high, right? But because of how deep it went, I'm fine with it. Like I'm fine looking for long dollar now after how deep it went. So if we had this 4-hour candle close and we were hanging around this area, then I would have probably looked for shorts initially, to be honest. But since we went from premium to discount, I'm chilling now. I'm chilling now. And Euro especially looks like it's chilling. Minute left on the 5-minute and the 15-minute candle. That's pretty nice. So that looks like that 15-minute inverse for value gap is not happening. Honestly, I kind of want to... I wonder if it'll let me sell limit. Oh! Wait, but the question is, will it actually get triggered? Can I just add another sell limit? Oh! No way, bro. No way. Because what I was thinking is, obviously this looks like very good price action. So I would want to, like, this would be my initial entry, right? If I hadn't traded this, like, if I wasn't in already, this would be my initial entry. But, I'm not sure if it'll allow it, to be honest, because I thought that I was only on a max of 2 contracts until, like, I have a certain amount of profit. Alright, new 5-minute candle. We did close below the low, not to mention the fair value gap, so that is an official market structure shift. Let me do this. Buy stop for 4.
Order rejected.
No, okay. So that means that it's probably going to end up rejecting this order as well. Is my guess. Let's find out. So you have to keep in mind we're in a new hourly candle now as well. So if we look at how this hourly candle closed, that looks like the high this 4-hour candle was just made. We have relative equal lows right here. Now we're making the high of this. Let's see if it taps us in. Maybe. I want to get rid of these lines in the back. Grid lines. Bang. Bang. There you go. Watermark. Nope. Perfect. I wonder if I could just make it like pretty much the same. Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? Oh, this doesn't look crazy at all. Do something like that. Bang.
Order rejected.
Okay, yeah, it did reject the order. Whatever. I'm gonna leave my stop loss there, obviously, but... Okay, okay. Green. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, now it looks just like that. Sick. It's actually kind of nice. I hope that saves, though. Alright, now we're going to want to see this reject off of this fair value gap. Okay, can't move it, whatever. Boom. That's so ugly. Look at that. It's basically just... Okay, but the color difference is going to annoy me. See, this is where my ADHD is going to come in. Because now I'm going to have to, like... Oh, wait. Hold on. Check this out. Boom. Boom. Add this one remove, bang. Now it should be, yeah, there you go. Alright, yeah. Okay, so I gotta say, obviously my initial entry was technically outside of my playbook, right? It was still an OTE entry, but it was on a larger scale. So it was like one of my entries, but like I said, it was just on a larger scale. But this is still playing off my strategy, so I'm basically just entered in a little bit better than my actual strategy. So I'm gonna keep this here, adjust the stop loss, but then I'm also gonna mark this up as if I was taking this, how my strategy would permit me to. If we close like near the open within the next 20 seconds, then we're going lower. We might be going for those November 10th lows and highs on a dollar. The highs on the dollar, lows on the euro. Like this could really be a runner, honestly, just based on the volume of these candles. Like this would be insane. These are clearly going to get taken, in my opinion. Like that's a no-brainer. Okay, so it didn't close near the open, but we still have good speed, so yeah, we just want to see it move. Alright, so euro has not taken both these lows, it's only taken Asia's lows. The dollar has taken both those highs, and the pound has taken, I mean, obviously both the lows that we were talking about, but mainly just Asia's lows. So a little bit of SMT could be forming here. Realistically, if I was in this trade from what would have been my initial entry, then I would be looking to take profit in this area, especially because I'm in drawdown, right? But considering it's the last trade of the year, really, for me, besides maybe 1 or 2 in December, I'm just gonna let this one go. I'm just gonna let this ride. Also because I'm very confident that it's gonna be melting pretty far down, but yeah, I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling pretty confident in this trade. I'm not gonna lie. So, and I have a good entry realistically. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it ride. All right, so this is pretty later in the day. I was recording more of this trade, but I was also playing Dispatch in between, so when I went to record, it was recording the game instead of the screen for some reason, even though I switched it to a screen recording, so I don't know. It was annoying because it was only recording the game, but whatever. So I think where I left off was, whoops. I want to say it was on this candle right here. And price ended up obviously going lower. And I was watching mainly the dollar because I was waiting for the dollar to take these relative equal highs that we had been watching for a long time, right? And then price got up to it, and then once it broke right past it, that's where I closed the trade. You could see here entry price, exit price, and the profit. So we're back up to 0.5% in profit overall. So it's kind of nice because we just basically mitigated all of the losses that I took this week in one trade. So obviously it makes me think like, okay, well, what if I was executing properly and, you know, I didn't have the losses, but it is what it is. Last loss that I took, I kind of just gave it to the game. Like this was just a loss either way, you know what I mean? Or was it this one? I gotta remember. Yeah, because like I was still like stage wise right here. I was still entering correctly, but I would have got stopped out either way. On this trade though, you can see similar situation, right? Opposing 1 hour for value gap. On this trade, we did have a similar situation, right? And my entry was not necessarily based off that, like right on the retest because the stop loss was so big, right? And I did enter prematurely, which I know I mentioned before. I entered here and put my stop loss at the overall high, looking at it as an OTE on a higher scale. And then I still marked out the actual trade that I would have taken, which would have been something like this, and price still would have ran pretty well. And especially because I'm only allowed to use 2 contracts. I mean, obviously my earlier entry was the better entry, but I still, if I was able to risk an actual 1%, I pretty much would have made the same amount. So yeah, obviously that was a premature entry, not really part of my plan. But like I said when I was entering it, I'm kind of looking at this as like my last trade of the year. I have said before also I might trade once more if there's like a really good trade and it's just obvious. But yeah, even though it wasn't my exact entry model, it was still based off of my entry model. It's just on a higher scale, right? And so I'm fine with it. Obviously, because I made money, so I'm gonna be fine with it. But at the end of the day, a good trading day is based on how well you follow your rules, right? So I am acknowledging that, but yeah, like I said, I'm fine with it. And that's where I took profit. Obviously, if I did hold the trade over a long period of time, then I would have made so much more, which actually I didn't expect this low to get taken. But yeah, the dollar just took off. Like it was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So yeah, I'll be watching it. But news wise, I mean, we have NFP tomorrow morning, and then crazy news during London the next day. So yeah, I'm definitely chilling for the rest of the week. I wish I would have been able to get a payout before the end of the year, but it looks like it's not going to happen, so I'm not going to be pushing it. So yeah.